Ayo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It is Monday night, January the 15th, 2018, and we are here to talk about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, live from San Antonio, Texas. And I got some things to say. So, let's get this show started without further ado, right here, right now, on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my little buddy, my loyal companion, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball, and we are going to talk about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Very big, special thank you and a shout out to each and every one of you guys that subscribed this week. We had a nice big influx of subscribers, and I want to welcome everyone who has not subscribed yet to do just that right now. Be part of the movement. Join the family here right now. The Sledgehammer Club is growing stronger and stronger by the day, and you need to be a part of it as we are taking over YouTube one video at a time. And the most important thing that I can have is you. You guys make the difference. You guys make this show what it is today. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. Share it with everybody you know that will join along with us as well and enjoy some great wrestling content. Check out Clutch Chairs down in the description below. All you got to do is give a little click and it'll shoot you over to the webpage. You can check out all the chairs and stuff. They got a cool AJ Styles chair, an absolutely beautiful Macho Man Randy Savage chair that I would love to one day own. It would be absolutely fantastic behind me with the setup we got going back here. So don't forget to do all those things. Please, shout out. Let me know if you subscribed to this video in the comments down below so I know that I'm doing a good job. And now that that's all out of the way, you know, okay, we are going to be fair. We are going to try to be open-minded and fair, and we're not going to be such cynical, jaded, disappointed wrestling fans. But my brain functions at a different level than the average wrestling fan, and that's not a knock on anybody. It just happens to be who I am. I have watched this product for over 3 decades. I have seen the best and the worst that has ever come into the squared circle. From Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker all the way down to Alicia Fox versus anybody. Okay, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Tonight I can continue to say that I've seen it all. And the Braun Strowman rampage of Monday Night Raw was a very hot topic amongst all of you guys on social media. And I'm honestly right in the middle. And yeah, you might think that's a bullshit cop-out way to go about my feelings, you know, but the fact of the matter is, was it fun to see Braun Strowman create chaos on Monday Night Raw tonight? Absolutely. Absolutely it was fun. Was it great to see him flip the truck? Sure it was. It's an absolutely unbelievably impressive feat of strength that I don't think anybody but Braun Strowman could replicate. Was it fun to see him scare everybody out of the TV truck, especially Kevin Dunn? Was it great to see him bucking his way out of the TV truck? Yeah, sure, it was great. That was funny. It was great. Of course, the cameraman had to follow Dunn. You know, he's got to get his 5 minutes. If he's going to be in the camera view, you got to get his retarded face on the screen. Instead of focusing on Braun Strowman creating the havoc, we're going to follow Kevin Dunn all his way out. It was fun. Sure, it was fun. Was it fun to see him attack catering? Of course it is. Watching him throw people through tables. Watching him cause havoc. It was a lot of fun. Right? I'm sure you guys thought it was a lot of fun. I'm not here to report on fun. Alright? If this was all, cotton candy and rainbows, there'd be no reason for you to watch me. I bring the hammer down on the world of professional wrestling. That's why we are the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Sledgehammer TV, named after the heel of heels, the greatest man to ever wield a sledgehammer, Triple H. We're ruthless here. And it's okay if you enjoyed it. I'm not saying that you're a terrible fan because you had fun watching Braun Strowman. I'm not saying anything like that. We're entitled to have fun, and as I said, I did have fun watching those particular segments. What I did not enjoy was everything in between the spots, where Braun Strowman was just wandering around like a chicken without a head, like a baby toddler throwing a tantrum, not knowing which wall to run into. People not truly being terrified. We walked into catering, we all knew what was coming, but Kurt Hawkins didn't seem to give a shit when the stupid production guy comes in and is like, Braun Strowman's headed this way. I probably delivered it better than he did. The acting in every single segment was subpar. We're not even gonna go there. I've said it, it's out there, alright? The acting throughout the entirety of the Strowman angle was wretched. Wretched. Even Kurt Angle trying to sell the worth of the television truck. Oh my god, they're worth $12 million. And he goes to run to save the truck, right? We gotta save the truck from what? From what? What did Braun Strowman do? He scared some people inside the truck. You think for 1 minute he was gonna start breaking TV screens? If he wasn't gonna do that, what was the point of having Braun Strowman go in the truck? Braun Strowman went into the TV truck to do this. Are you for real? That was the best you had. That was the best you had. I would have much preferred, if this was truly their plan, I hope that they came up with this right before the show. Because if they had days to plan this, they could have very easily filmed a segment with a bullshit tractor trailer with a mock-up of the studio, fake TV screens or whatever, and just let him have at it. Let him have at it and do your little TV trickery and show us this during Monday Night Raw as if it's happening right now. And then, you know what? Let him crash the truck into the television truck and then flip it over. That's Braun Strowman. He walked through that TV truck and didn't strangle one person. He wants to know what this button does. What does this button do? Does this shut everything down? Well, why didn't he fucking push the button then? Why was he in the truck? I'm sorry, this is what I see. This is the monster among men. And he's wandering backstage, not knowing what to do. What do I do? Oh, there's a table, let me flip this. Here's a garbage can, let me kick it. Are you kidding me? Maybe you don't agree, and that's fine. Maybe you enjoyed him wandering around aimlessly in the back. The people who he was walking past, not even cowering in fear. One stupid lady screamed in the TV truck of the whole entire production crew, and I'm pretty sure I heard somebody tell somebody to scream. I could have sworn I heard somebody say, scream, and then, ah! Braun Strowman's here, ho, ho, ho. Nobody gave a shit that he was there. If he walked into that truck, even for a millimeter of a second, I would be out. If he got me on my way out, that's my bad. I tried to get past the monster. I'm dead now. Alright? That whole thing could have came off way, way more impactful. I know that's what they wanted you to go for. They wanted you to believe that he was in this Hulk-like rage that was so terrifying that it would force Stephanie McMahon to make Kurt Angle take back his firing of Braun Strowman at the beginning of this show. But it really, go back and watch it again, it was not that great. It was not. It's nothing we haven't ever seen before. And what did it accomplish? In 1 hour, he was fired and rehired. And then we saw nothing more of Braun Strowman for the rest of the night. Let me drop this on you guys. When I was watching this and the show began, I first took the firing of Braun Strowman when Kurt Angle first announced it. And I was like, this is interesting. Because if you have half a brain, you know Braun Strowman is not leaving that arena without causing chaos now. He's just got fired. He's going to be pissed off. He's going to be effectively removed from the building by hook or crook, by cops or by SWAT team or whatever. Right? By the way, Kurt Angle threatened to call the SWAT team to confine and contain Braun Strowman. I wish that would have happened. It would have been much more entertaining, but it didn't happen. But let me drop this on you like I said. Now imagine this went through and Braun Strowman was removed from the arena tonight. What's next week? Raw 25, right? You want to have this big, historic night? Why not have everybody fearful of the looming arrival of Braun Strowman? Don't have him there when the show kicks off. Go about your festivities. But have Kurt Angle nervous in the back. Have Stephanie McMahon worried about him showing up. Have everybody performing as if nothing's going on. But in the back you see people a little nervous. You know, looking over their shoulder. Every time they hear a noise, maybe it's Braun Strowman. Oh my God, building up the suspense. And at the 10 o'clock hour, Braun Strowman shows up. He starts doing shit in the back. He breaks his way in. People can't contain him. Maybe along the way he takes out the Godfather. Maybe here and there he bumps into a legend or two that he just totally intimidates just even by looking at them. Maybe you don't want them throwing around the legends, right? Maybe you let them give them the rub. Maybe you show some of them running in fear. Maybe a Tommy Dreamer don't want to mess with a Braun Strowman. Even if he's got Rhino at his side or some shit like that. Build this up and build this up. Braun Strowman is loose in the building. But the show has to go on. So you continue on with the show until you hit the main event spot. Maybe you book the main event segment to be the Legends. So you have the biggest names in the industry out there. Maybe not the Undertaker. Well, absolutely. You know what? Screw it. Maybe it's the Undertaker. Maybe Shawn Michaels. Maybe it's Stone Cold. Stone Cold probably has to be involved in order to pull off what I want to pull off here. Right? So now the Legends are all in the ring. Braun Strowman comes out. He gets in their faces. He is going to destroy the Legends. He may seem outnumbered. But you have the Legends sell the importance of this moment. Have Shawn Michaels not look so confident. Have him look like, oh shit, it's Braun Strowman. Even have the Undertaker, if he's got to be there. I actually, you know what, I wouldn't even have him in this segment. But you put some of the more important legends in this segment. Maybe have him throw a few out. Right? And have him have Stone Cold and HBK by the throat. Kurt Angle comes out. Stephanie McMahon orders him to reverse his decision from last week. Braun Strowman's part of the Raw roster again, but he has got to immediately unhand these legends. He complies, he has his job back. And then he gets a Stone Cold Stunner for his troubles. And Raw 25 ends with the glass shattering, Stone Cold breaking a beer over Braun Strowman. Why not? There is history. There is good Raw television. You have a big, high-profile show where you could really put this kid over. Play him against some of the biggest names in the company. Make the new viewer and even the casuals that are going to be tuning in to see this epic 25th anniversary show, give them something to remember. You know what we're going to get? We're going to get lots of filler segments. We're going to get overbooked nonsense. We're going to get the Revival probably eating the finisher of every legendary tag team that there is, making them look like jobbers. Where I would much rather see them come out and lay waste to the New Age Outlaws. You know what I mean? Or whatever other tag teams are going to be there. Have them come out and show that they are about what they say they are. Don't talk about it, be about it. That is what the Revival is all about. Tonight they had a great promo following a quick squash match of some jerk-off team. I don't care. I don't care about who they beat. It was inevitable we were going to see a shatter machine at the end of that match. But the Revival is going to suffer, most likely, and take a hit to their ego and to their character just for this sidestep of a wrestling event, which is Raw 25. And I'm telling you, everything I just laid out to you, you telling me you wouldn't be interested in that? You're a bold-faced liar if you're telling me that would not be 100% better than what we got tonight. Tonight was a mixed feelings kind of show. Because like I said, was it fun? Yes. Did it make sense? Not really. Did it come off the way they wanted it to? Not at all. And effectively, by the time the segment was over, absolutely nothing changed. Nothing changed for Braun Strowman. He was fired and rehired in 1 hour. That was his story arc for the night, and then he went home. Is that really good for you? I don't know. I have some problems with that. But that was how the show pretty much started. Let's talk about some of the matchups for tonight. We had a rematch with Titus Worldwide and Cesaro and Sheamus. I did not expect the outcome that we got tonight. Of course, thankfully, not thankfully, we have Jason Jordan to thank for this, because he has to put his ugly mug in everywhere it doesn't deserve. He comes out tonight, serves as a distraction to the Bar, causing them to lose for the second week in a row to a jobber tag team that's going nowhere. Great. What did it mean? What does it mean for Titus Worldwide? Is this the beginning of a serious push for them? If that's the case, then maybe I shouldn't complain too much, because we do need tag teams. If you're going to position them as a tag team, you might as well do it. Do it, let them get some wins under their belt. Who knows, maybe it'll gel. Maybe something will organically come of this Titus Worldwide that might actually make it worth watching. As long as Dana Brooke is along with them, I don't give a shit. I don't want to see it. There's nothing about that trio that entices me. Apollo is a great talent. He's a good hand. But he's being dragged down by Titus O'Neil, and bringing Dana Brooke into the fold is not helping anybody. Anybody at all. Be that as it may, Titus Worldwide gets the win over the Bar for some reason, if only to further the storyline that they have going with Jason Jordan, which I want to end, because this storyline feud between the two of them doesn't even make sense. Nothing they do really makes sense. We know that. If you've been watching more than 1 week, you know nothing makes sense on this show. We try to do the best we can to make sense of the madness, but it only ends up making me more mad, because I end up coming up with ideas that are way better. Just like I illustrated to you at the beginning of this show. Cruiserweight division is still just an absolute waste of time. Enzo Amore comes out with Tony Nese, Tony Abs, whatever he wants to call him. Anybody walking around with Enzo Amore on just does not have a brain in their head. It does not have a brain in their head. That includes one of my favorite female wrestlers, Miss Nia Jax. We will get to her later. Somebody needs to knock some sense into her. But we had a matchup here. Cedric Alexander. Who the fuck is Curtis? Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese. Cedric Alexander wins. Goldust was out there with him. Apparently Goldust is a cruiserweight now. Or he's a cruiserweight manager. At least for Cedric. Curtis. Whatever the hell his name is. Who cares? It was a useless match. Then we had Braun Strowman flip the tractor. Did absolutely nothing to the truck. Really. He detached the tractor from the TV truck. If he wanted to destroy the truck, why did he take the tractor off the truck? Why not? You know what? We're not going to go back there. Never mind. We were just talking about Nia Jax. We're going to jump right back into that. We had a matchup tonight that I did not understand why it was happening tonight. I know it is coming off of a little bit of a beef that was happening between them last week, but a few words between each other that actually didn't happen. There was no real exchange of heat between Asuka and Nia Jax, so this matchup really didn't make sense to me. It's coming off of Alexa Bliss's involvement. I get it, but this matchup ended up being a very, very good match. I do not like, once again, that they have put this match, A, on free TV, and then B, as a showcase for another talent to look more dominant than Asuka. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you seen Nia Jax be dominant? Nia Jax was getting her ass whooped by Sasha Banks and Bayley, right? And now Sasha Banks tonight, she can't even beat Sonya Deville. We'll get to that a little later as well. But Nia Jax is not featured as a dominant wrestler on this roster. So why was she all of a sudden able to go toe-to-toe with Asuka? This match they had tonight was much better than the match they had at NXT, I'll give them that. And throughout the entirety of the match, I couldn't understand how they were going to get out of this without damaging one of the two women's reputations. Asuka and Nia Jax are both on their way into the Royal Rumble. And essentially this match shouldn't be happening. This is a pay-per-view level match with the proper build behind it. This is a common thread in the problem with the WWE throughout the entirety of 2017. They're just giving us pay-per-view caliber matches that deserve attention and deserve to be built and deserve for us to have our time and invest and discuss, like John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was just sprung upon us with 1 week for absolutely nothing. We are getting the same thing here. Nia Jax versus Asuka could have been a built-up and much more well-featured feud. It could have actually given life to this women's division, which has just been stagnant and stale. Even with the arrival of Crap Solution. And yes, I'm still going to call them the Crap Solution, even though I do feel very badly for what has happened to Paige. But my biggest hope of the biggest plus that can come out of that whole thing was that they were going to dissolve this and disband this whole thing, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And I fully expect Paige, after what we've seen tonight, to regress into a managerial role for this Crap Solution team of Deville and Rose. But the Nia Jax Asuka match would end in a controversial fashion. Nia Jax was standing on the steps, and she would receive a vicious kick from the Empress of Tomorrow, which took her off her balance, and she ended up falling on her ass straight down onto the steps, but it looked as if it jacked her knee. Now, I do not know if Nia Jax is as good of an actor as her Hollywood star cousin, The Rock, but she definitely looked like one tonight. I truly, for a minute, believed that Nia Jax might have legitimately tweaked something in that knee of hers until I saw Alexa Bliss come out. Now I fully believe that it's just a work, and they used this as a way to end this match without truly making either woman suffer a loss. Asuka did win the match due to the fact that Jax could not continue, but that's a loophole that they could exploit later on when they decide to give this feud some legs. So at the end of it all, if Nia Jax is not legitimately injured, which I do not expect that to be the case, then I'm okay with it. If she did get hurt for real tonight, I'm going to be very upset. Because like I said, this match, truly and honestly, is very unnecessary to be seeing on a random Monday Night Raw in San Antonio, Texas, for nothing at all. Because Alexa Bliss tried to start mind games between the two of them. She was lying to Nia Jax. Nia Jax knew she was lying about it, so why did this match even continue to take place? There's no vengeance to be had. I don't get it. I don't get it. They had a very beautiful tribute to Martin Luther King from Martin Luther King Day, the 10-bell salute. It was very well done. I thought they were, they're always very good with their production value on the holidays, and the promo package team. They take WWE garbage, and when they repackage it at the start of next week's show, they make it look like something great happened sometimes, But, we all watched it in real time, so we know how they try to spin it. But that team is fantastic, and this promo for MLK Day was absolutely touching and was very fitting for the night, and I liked it. The Revival, like I said, they issued a warning to the legends that will be at the 25th anniversary show next Monday, which I fully expect them to be made to eat their words and look like fools, and everybody's going to cheer and laugh because nobody likes the Revival except for me, I guess, because I don't see anybody out there that really supports the Revival aside from me and a few of my fellow colleagues in the YWC here. But they're a great tag team, and if the WWE was smart, like I said, they would have them kick everybody's ass next week and just prove that they are what they say they are, because they are. Let's move along. Roman Reigns. Handicap match versus The Miz Taraj. Did you give a shit about this match? How many shits did you give? 1? 2? This is not a 3. You know what this is. It's a big fat donut, which I wish I had a real donut to stuff in my face right now because I could use a little snack. But Roman Reigns versus The Miz Taraj. I guess the handicap match stipulation is going to be the Fatal 5-Way of 2018. We've had 3 weeks of wrestling and we've seen 4 handicap matches already. We got another one coming up at the Royal Rumble. Let's see how many we can get before the end of the year, shall we? I'm not going to harp too much on that. Who do you think won? Who do you think won the 1-on-2 handicap match between the big dog, the real man? This is a real man, Booker T says. I take offense to that. What is a real man? Is Seth Rollins not a real man? Am I not a real man? Last time I checked, I was swinging down low. I'm a real man. I work my ass off to support my family. I'm a real man. I love my wife. I love my daughter. I'm a real man. Why is he a real? That's a real man. Dog. Get out of here. I hate it so much. As you can see, it gets me going. It's real man. Nah. This is a real man. We're all real men. Is Ric Flair not a real man? You see Ric Flair, he's not a fucking real man. Sonya Deville goes one-on-one with Sasha Banks. I say one-on-one very loosely because these girls don't know how to fight one-on-one anymore. They're always flanked by at least 2 other females because we got to get everybody on TV. God forbid we don't see Mickie James. God forbid she don't just sit in the back and have a snack and catering with the rest of the... Oh, well, even though Braun Strowman destroyed catering, go pick up a cupcake up the floor. Go get some frosting. Get away from the ring. What happened to a one-on-one matchup? Huh? Just because they're in a faction, their team always has to be out there? I remember many times back in the day, DX used to just go out one-on-one. Sometimes it was made to be the case. They had to go out there and fight alone, and nobody can come to ringside. When are we going to have that be brought back as something a general manager can do? Hey, you know what? We're going to take you from Crap Solution, the one that wants to be, the one from NXT. I just lost her name. Because it starts with an S2 and now I'm getting them confused. Screw it. Shayna Baszler. There you go. Came to me. I apologize for that. You want to be Shayna Baszler, you're never going to get over by yourself. But you know what? We're going to put you by yourself in a match versus Sasha Banks. And everybody else sit in the back and watch. Why can't we do that, huh? Why can't we do that? They give the win to this undeserving Sonya lady. Now, listen. I am the first one on this YouTube thing that does this, that wants new stars. I want new stars to be made. I want it to happen. But it's always the choice that they make that just kind of rubs me the wrong way, you guys. Like, out of the choice of the three of them, obviously Paige is the star. That's obvious. But Mandy Rose is not ready to be main event, or main roster, rather. Neither is Sonya Deville. This win tonight was nothing. It was essentially a squash match of Sasha Banks, which I don't understand. I don't understand. Are they really shallow enough to blame her for what happened to Paige? They've had the same exact spot against each other every time they've gone up against each other in the house show circuit, anytime they've gotten in the ring. When she got hurt just last week in Long Island, this was something that they've done 100 times over. It was a freak accident. You have her come out and lose to Sonya Deville in 3 minutes. I certainly hope it is not some sort of a punishment for what happened so unexpectedly and accidentally. But, we can speculate. This is the WWE we're talking about. You're going to tell me they wouldn't be petty enough to do that? They just released a t-shirt. They put all this money and all this time and all this investment into getting Absolution over and finally bringing Paige back after all this. And they have this whole big plan in play. And now it's messed up because she got hurt in a match with you. And now, Monday night, you're going to lose in about 3 minutes to this green as grass noob who doesn't deserve 2 minutes on Monday Night Raw. That's what I see. You might have enjoyed that match. If you did, you're crazy. Absolutely crazy. Speaking of absolutely crazy, we had Matt Hardy show his woken wisdom to the world. I love the new theme song. I hate the fact that it starts with him yelling and saying, "Deleted," like in the song. Like, it should have just started with the piano solo and then cut right into that awesome song that they created for Matt Hardy. The whole, it's just too much. It's too much. You're overdoing it. You should just allow him to be in control of the delete. You don't need the music and the song to tell the fans to chant delete. They are going to know what to do based off the character. That small little tidbit just bothers me. I don't like that type of stuff in wrestling themes per se, but that's just my personal taste. Other than that, what else I don't like is watching him wrestle nobodies. This is Matt Hardy. Just because he's woken doesn't make him different as far as his wrestling ability. He should still be fighting people way above the lower mid-card. Last week we got Kurt Hawkins. This week we get Heath Slater, which is essentially, if you think about it, the same person. They both mean the exact same thing. They look the exact same way. Who gives a shit about either one of them? Nobody. Actually, Heath Slater's got a one-up on the other one just because he's at least got a friend in Rhino. But who wants to see this match? Why is Heath Slater, a good guy, fighting a good guy in Matt Hardy? And where was Bray Wyatt's involvement at all? Not even a blip, a flicker of the light, nothing. Bray Wyatt don't care this week about the Great War? The main event tonight was actually very good. Until you all seen it. You know where I'm about to go. This match, first of all, finally, Finn Balor gets a one-on-one matchup with the man that cost him the Universal Championship. And, of course, like I said, just talking about Deville and Sasha Banks, one-on-one means we have to have our friends with us. Jason Jordan's alongside his tag team championship partner. Finn Balor's got the club in tow. The Good Brothers got his back. They did not really play too much of a part in the majority of this match until we got to this very strange and botched finish that led to an even more strange finish that wasn't botched but definitely was kind of weird. So we're gonna just go right to the end because the wrestling was good. It's Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. What did you expect? It was going to be a great match. They definitely work well together still. They have good chemistry. But I struggle not to laugh because I was just so stunned that this has happened. And then I went back and watched it myself in slow motion about 4 times. And I know what happened here. But it'll be interesting to see how the WWE chooses to go about this. Let me explain to you what happened with the stupid referee that fucked up the 3 count towards the end of this match. The referee went down to make the count. He effectively picked up his shoulder as if he was going to make the count. If you watch in super slow motion, you see he kind of realizes that his vantage point is not optimum to make the 3 count. He can't see the shoulders clearly. At least maybe not for the camera. I don't know. He could have just made the 3 count or the 2 count and it would have been fine. But as his shoulder goes up, you see him on his way back down push himself with the left hand to get back into a better position. So the right hand goes down to assist in the movement. But because he's got that little jerk in the arm, he made the count. That was 1. Boom. 1. Then he did 2. Then he did 3. The crowd counted it. The Good Brothers saw it. Even Jason Jordan looked shocked on the outside. And then he goes up for a 4 count. And they kick out. And the match continues. We all saw it. One of the most interesting things at the conclusion of this match, as I'm going to go off topic just a smidge here, Booker T says there's no instant replay here in pro wrestling. Corey Graves says they need to go back and review this. You know, they need to bring it to the higher ups, right? Because clearly that was a 3 count. They won this match. Finn Balor won this match. I'm saying they because, like I said, there's so many people outside, I always just assume everything is just multi-man matches. This was a one-on-one encounter, like I said. Finn Balor got the pin. Finn Balor got the win. It was a botch. It wasn't meant to be, but it happened. We all seen it. It's terrible. So terrible that I forgot exactly where I was going with my point just there, because I just don't understand how they're going to play this out on TV. The ref made the 3 count. Alright, now he calls it off. We move along with this match. Oh, it was Booker T I was talking about, right? We're not even going to go back to it. It's not worth it. He's a moron. He screwed that up. What do you mean no instant replay? We just went back to instant replay just last week for AJ Styles. Did we not? Haven't we done it a few times when it calls for it? When they write it in the script? Right? So you can't say stuff like that. Moron. The match goes on. The Bar comes out, seemingly to mess with Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan would backpedal in front of the Good Brothers. He would move out of the way as Sheamus and Cesaro would come in for an attack, and now the Good Brothers and the Bar would end up scuffling to the outside. Finn Balor would dive and take everybody out, and then this match would come to its true conclusion. Finn Balor, missing the coup de grace, goes to hit the ropes to follow up with something, but Jason Jordan trips Finn Balor, which leads to one of the most brutal curb stomps I have seen. I don't know if it's because I haven't seen it in months, but Seth Rollins has brought back the curb stomp. They're calling it the blackout. Call it whatever the hell you want. I'm just happy to see it back. I absolutely loved that maneuver. I thought it was great for him. He delivered it so flawlessly and ends up getting the win and a 3 count after that. But it gets weirder because Jordan and Rollins would celebrate up the ramp, standing at the stage. The camera keeps cutting into the ring to Finn Balor, obviously totally out of whack from taking that blackout stomp. And then the camera would stay in the ring. focused on Finn Balor and the Good Brothers trying to revive him. He struggles to get back to his feet. He falls back down. He's really selling the damage of Seth Rollins' finishing maneuver. And then we fade to black. No music. You know, the announce team was pretty much laying out for the entirety of it. They just kept kind of repeating the same stupid line over and over as if they didn't even know what was happening and why they are focusing on Finn Balor. Oh, Finn's feeling the effects, man. That curb stomp was just vicious. It was brutal. The blackout, excuse me. Yeah, it seems like he just can't get with it, you know. It looks like he's really out of it. It was a tough, hard-fought match, this and that. Just jargon, just filler. Then they didn't even lead you into next week's big show. They didn't even end the show going, we'll see you next week for Raw 25. We ended this show in silence, looking at a completely dazed Finn Balor and two very disappointed Good Brothers. How is that a way to go off the air before one of the biggest shows you're going to have at the start of the new year? What the hell was that? What was that? Finn Balor. Finish him. Like, what the fuck was supposed to happen? Was somebody supposed to come out? Were they supposed to cut to another segment and then say, screw it, we're out of time? We're already at like 11:15. We have to cut this final thing. What happened? Whoever was there, if you were there tonight and you happen to be watching this show, you live in San Antonio, you're a fan of Sledgehammer TV, and you went to that show tonight, please fill me in on what happened when the camera stopped rolling, because there had to be something more than that. How is that a lead-in for next week's show? As you could see, like I told you guys at the beginning of this show, we bring the hammer where it is needed. And although tonight's episode at points was kind of fun, and we had a decent match between Asuka and Nia Jax, we had a very decent main event except for the messed up finish. We had a great kickoff with the fun Braun Strowman destruction, but everything in between was just the same old shit. Nothing really happened tonight. We'll have to hope that they can actually fit the roster of people that they have announced for next week's Raw 25th anniversary show into 3 hours of TV. And hopefully it's not just 3 hours of overbooked nonsense. If you're going to overbook it right. Perhaps maybe what I suggested still could be the way Raw goes off the air next week. Somebody's getting stunned. We'll have to tune in to see who it is. And once we find out who that is, we are going to bring that to you right here after the show on the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. Don't forget, if you have not subscribed yet to this channel, hit that subscribe button, click that ring bell to join the notification club, and then like, share, and then go check out Clutch Chairs. Follow me on Twitter at Nick Nightmare. Go check us out on Facebook, The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, all one giant word. Become a fan over there. Follow us everywhere you can. We keep you up to date as much as possible. Lots of great stuff went out over the weekend on this channel. We have got so much content there and so much more coming. So make sure you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. My name is Nick Nightmare. That's Seth Rollins. You know him. He had a great main event match tonight. That's Bobby Roode. We're going to see him in action tomorrow night on SmackDown Live in that ridiculously predictable United States Championship tournament. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone, the most important member of this team. Because without him, you can't hear me. And if you can't hear me, what the hell are you watching this show for? The World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you tomorrow night for SmackDown Live, right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.